Alright everyone, Strobes here again, bringing you another playtest video from the Karabast.net beta. We're not making any pre-game sideboards here. It looks like we're playing against Eduardo Murmar, running a Luke Green build, so aiming to ramp there. Kind of ironic that they're using the Death Star, although it's a Death Star trench, so maybe makes some sense for Luke. Let's see here. We are, with Boba Blue, we're running the best cards that Blue runs and control, and then kind of just slotting in the yellow cards that make Boba decks. I think we will not mulligan here. We want to close out the game with our Avengers. I have 3 of those main deck. We can loop some of our better events with the Bounty Hunter crew. We have a lot of high drops here. We have 2 to 3, but then we jump to 5, 6, and 9. So we won't need this Avenger for a long time. We probably don't need 2 of those Bobas, so I'm opting to keep the stuff that will be coming down sooner. And we especially do not want a 3rd Boba. A Vanquish is pretty good for taking down non-leaders. Here, good against, I'm going to leave it on the top just because I don't want to miss it. Like if we don't take it and then are kind of SOL, if they drop like an Obi-Wan or something on an empty board. Main thing is that Luke can kind of lock you out. His ability puts a shield on stuff. If they get a Sentinel that they can put a shield on repeatedly like Obi-Wan, it can be really annoying for us. I'm gonna resource that Bounty Hunter crew here. We'll just attack first. Looks like they're ramping. They played a resupply there, so they spent their whole turn doing that. So they're trying to jump ahead. This Boba deck plays significantly different than like a green build, if you are familiar with that. In green builds with Boba, you're just trying to jump the turn and just go straight to turn 5, skip a turn with the ramp, because you don't want to play like any of your 4 drops. So they put a shield on that. I think we can either take it down or bounce it. I'm going to lean toward takedown. That wastes multiple actions on there, and we can have Boba come out next turn, but after they resource, their Luke can come out too. Luckily, we have another takedown here, plus a waylay if they do play an Obi-Wan, which it looks like they do. But we want to start off with a Vanquish to that, because they can't give... Again, this is going to be like a bad scenario for them. Obi-Wan, when he dies, gives experience to another unit, but if they don't have another unit, can't give experience to it. So we'll kill Obi-Wan. That will prevent them from getting experience on anything. We'll just be attacking their base. We can also play Boba here, which I think makes sense. And then we'll just pass. So they've claimed they can go up to 7. So we'll see if they try that again. We can still waylay here. Bib is more like an early game card so that we can play Vigilance on 5 resources and take down on 3. I don't know if we need to keep 2 Bosks though, but really Bib for Tuna at this point is kind of not completely necessary. If they land a home 1 or something, we're going to need another Vanquish. Well, I guess we could waylay it too. Just depends on how much stuff they get out and how much they can dump. Doing a Luke here. So, yeah, I'm trying to think of the options. They're going to probably try and play their leader, put a shield on this Luke. And Luke has Restore 3. What we can do is we can run this Boba into it and then take down it. We could also waylay it. I don't know if that's worth it. But then we're going to be putting damage off the base 4, 5. We could put 6 still on the base this turn. I think we need to run this Boba into the Luke and then take down it so that they can't just keep putting shields on it. They'll be able to kill our leader here. Let's see if we push the damage. Ooh, we're kind of in a tricky spot. They'll claim, but I want to keep pushing. I don't think we can really switch to control, at least with like these cards in hand. There's a potential to like switch our game plan and try and play way more of a control game, but not like with these. Childson can do that, but Childson in this deck is a little, I'm not sure. I talked about that in the deck kind of walk through section. There's way more yellow than blue. I think he's just here as a 4-cost Sentinel, but he doesn't, it's not like in an Iden deck or even in a Vader deck where he can be up to a 5/5 or a 6/6. Although it would keep some of the damage off our base and allow us to ambush with Bosk. So maybe we'll resource one of those Bosks, play Childson, which leaves us room to waylay still. Put that on the bottom. I think we can leave Dooku on the top. Let's play a Childson. Obviously no reveals. We don't really want to waylay a Luke. We can Dooku Luke the leader next turn. So I think maybe we will waylay just to knock the shield off of him. I mean, that's the main annoying thing with those Luke Jedi Knight. Because if they get like a shield, it's just can be a little much. We want to Dooku here. I think we're just going to pass, stop resourcing for a second. We'll see if they keep going. Oh my goodness, they got up for a redemption, so that's going to be hard for us to deal with. We can get rid of the redemption or the Luke. I think we've got to do the Luke so that they can't keep putting those shields on. And again, we can't really waylay this, so this is a pretty tricky matchup for us here. Because if they can like loop these redemptions, we can vigilance it. So maybe we'll pat, but we're playing this at 6. And Power of the Dark Side is really good. I don't know if we really need this patrol craft, to be honest. I think they're going to go first, though. So they're going to take down. We can vigilance them here and use it for... yeah, we'll defeat because we can get rid of that redemption and then mill them and cross our fingers that we hit something good. The other redemption. Hopefully there's not a whole nother one. I think we really want to hit a Luke with this Power of the Dark Side. So maybe we don't want them to keep healing up. Although I guess we could try and drop like an Avenger later. Let's waylay this. They can replay it if they want, but then we're going to claim, so. We've got a Yoda, it's got Restore 2, again, fairly annoying. We'll pass here though. We can Bosk into that Yoda. And we do want to resolve that. Although they gave him a shield last turn, so they'll Luke us. This power, yeah, we kind of had a misplay there. We should have, oh well. Just started with that and then played Bosk. We'll claim here. If they can like stick this stuff, it's going to be pretty difficult for us to come back from. We can Avenger here though, and they'll get rid of their arc. But if they can't get rid of our Avenger, we're going to vanquish that. We'll play Greedo. I mean, since they're in blue, having the Vanquish, discard a card to Greedo, sure, that at least would ping the shield off, but it didn't, so we'll claim there. Really need like another power or something to get rid of that Luke. If we go up to 10, we can Chilton and System Patrol Craft, which I guess is what we should do. At least keep the damage off of us for a minute. It is expensive to do that, but I don't have a whole lot of choice because we can't just take all of that all the time. So we're getting into like a bit of a weird race. That Bright Hope is good on their end, but they'll put a shield on it. Man. Yep, there's the shield. Okay. So we can Dooku, get rid of that Bright Hope. And then Luke just, I guess we can get, let's see, a 4-cost thing back and still be able to play it. I guess we could get like a power back, but we kind of need to keep these. Let's play. Okay, they've got another one. Okay, how many of this? I guess at least this is the last one. Let's see, if we resource, we get like a 5-cost thing back and play it. Okay, this Obi-Wan is going to be a pretty big problem. Really need a Super Laser Blast instead of those Avengers on the top end here, really. Because those shields are just terrible. And I don't know if there's like a way to remove them. I don't have like the deck list pulled up here. Actually, I think I might. But let's we can vanquish. I think we vanquish the Luke. Just because this Obi-Wan, we can't have him putting experience on him. So we'll vanquish Luke. How many Lukes are we through? Just 2? Probably have another one. Okay, they Bright Hoped us. We can Bounty Hunter Crew. But if we do the ambush, it'll just kill them, so maybe we shouldn't. Although we can hit Obi-Wan and then ambush, so maybe we'll try it. We'll see if they play something at all. Okay, they do that. So what we want to do is play a Bounty Hunter Crew and get back a card, but we need it to be a good card. I think it might just be Vanquish. In case of their Luke, we would like to grab a Vigilance, but we really need to, we can't like survive another Luke. Or like a Redemption or something. How many Dookus are we through? 1 Dooku? At least that's the good thing about Dooku is Dooku will whack their Redemption. Wow. Okay. Although this takedown is really good here against that Kanan Jarrus. Takedown. We might just be able to remove them. There's the last Luke. Wonder if we should lead with the Vigilance, get rid of this, and heal ourselves, and then immediately vanquish next turn. That's probably what we'll do. We'll defeat and heal, just to keep that damage off of our base. And then we'll claim here so we can vanquish right away, get rid of that Luke, which is their last Luke. I don't know why they keep putting all that stuff on him particularly. They know that we have a vanquish. We'll play our bib. I mean, we can still vanquish if they play a redemption. At this point, we're kind of looking for our last vigilance, try and mill them. Do we do one bounty hunter crew? Do they traitorous us? Alright. Is there other bounty hunter crews in there? Okay. Guess I should have been thinking about a traitorous, but oh my goodness. Like, they're gonna pull their last cards with that U-wing. Alright, so maybe we should have just passed there just to get that Obi-Wan. Okay, we'll have to pass. Although, what can we do? We're gonna draw because Obi-Wan will give experience. I mean, if we resource this vanquish, we can vanquish and do Power of the Dark Side. Yeah, I think we're gonna have to do both of those. I was trying to think of a line where we could play like Avenger and Power, but I don't know if that keeps enough off of us. I don't really care if they put all of that on Yoda. And then we'll probably just get rid of the R2 with this power, but at least it keeps some stuff off the board. Although they split it up, which I guess, so the power is probably just going to get rid of our bib Fortuna. Yeah. So we got 8 on board. Which is a lot. Even if we lead with the Avenger, because then I've got 12 on board. Wow, 16 on board. Jeez. Oh, they're undoing their actions. Undoing everything. Don't really know how they're doing that, since at least we can do both of these. But that's still going to leave too much damage on the board. Because they're still going to have us at 8. Yeah. Alright, we'll GG them there. Alright, that is game number 1. I'll look over it. Let's try and close this. I'm really not sure. This matchup was pretty rough with like all of the shields. Just because like the damage dealing stuff wouldn't work. Although we are a little bit tailored for it in the sense of the making openings, but everything, aggro decks now like are running everything that's out of range to be hit by it. Right, restored arcs are 3. Echo base is always 3, 4. There's nothing that can be killed in this deck by making openings, and that's kind of why like they're running R2s, because they can buff R2 with the lightsaber to be up to 5, which is like out of even like open fire range. Even like these Pathfinders are at 3. And then like lots of Sentinel, and Luke, you don't want to bounce because it just keeps coming back. So this matchup was pretty rough. I'd be interested to hear, I don't think there's an interview by Stephen Lee made this deck, like how to fare like against these kinds of like U-wing matchups, where they like dump all this stuff out. I guess what you can do is we can look at the deck here. Sideboard has like 1 super laser blast. I don't even think change of heart is nice in a control mirror. Maybe slotting in a bounty hunter crew just to be looping those events a bit more, getting those removal events back. I wonder if like sparks would be good here. Not just, I was thinking mainly for control, but even against a ramp deck, having these sparks, you can hit their redemption, you can hit their lukes if they're about to drop one and kind of get the momentum back from them. Bodhi maybe a little less good because it says Bodhi's for non-units, so you can't pull the lukes, you can't pull the redemptions, but I really think Spark would be pretty good here. No Good to Me Dead maybe, although it's just like a stall card, and if Luke stays around, even with this, it may be pretty rough. I don't think you need these devotions, so you probably slot those out for the sparks. Vanquish was really great here. Vigilance was helpful, really, a little more helpful than I thought it would be, just because of the third part where you can defeat a unit with 3 or less. Since it just says unit, it doesn't say non-leader unit, you can get Luke, which is what we ended up doing, so pretty useful in that sense. Other than that, I mean, Avengers, if we could just get them to stick, I think it was actually pretty close there in the end. We just couldn't pull it through. Dooku's ended up being pretty good. The Bosks, really. Childson, again, I'm still a little less sure of. I don't know, as it's not like worth it to just run like Cloud City Wing Guards on 3 instead of him on 4, since he's basically always, I mean, like, man, I feel like 9 times out of 10 he's just going to be a 3/3, and at that point you would just run Cloud City Wing Guard. So unless you like slot in some more blue into the main deck, other than that, I think that will probably be it for going over this match. Thank you for watching. I'll see you in the next match. Alright, we're going into round number 2 here against Tones, playing an IG-88 ECL build. So, don't usually see IG-88s. We'll see how they go. Generally not, thought of as the, top kind of competitive lists when you could be running stuff like Vader. So we'll just have to see. Looks like we're waiting on them to choose who will go first. So we might pause here in a second if they do not decide very quickly. I have slotted in a Super Laser Blast. I've been doing that in each game because we keep getting to this weird stall state. But I've played like I just played a Chewie deck, played a Luke deck, played a Han deck, and especially with U-Wings, like once they resolve, you can usually survive 1 without a Super Laser Blast, but 2 or 3 of them without a Super Laser Blast, which they will have because they've got playsets of them in the deck, is basically impossible to come back from. So instead of having the playset of Avengers, I have been thinking, and I think I mentioned that after the first game, that Super Laser Blast, at least having 1 in the main deck, seems good. We will not mulligan. We can claim here and do the kind of classic Iden control play of Power of the Dark Side first. These Making Openings main deck also, I mean, like, at least in the matches that I have been playing, are just, like, not very good. And I'm going to say that, and then they're going to play, like, some unit that can be killed by it, but in my experience, this has not been working out super well. And even these, like the Waylays, like you don't want to be playing them on 3, you want them late game, because you want to be powering first. They're just kind of awkward. I mean, they can be really, really good when they're good, but in this deck, I mean, like, I've often just kind of been, like, wanting removal, and I don't know if that's because I've been used to playing, like, Vader Blue, Iden Blue, and then Boba mid-range, and you're just, that's the kind of play patterns in that deck. I thought going with this deck I would have a pretty good understanding of like what to do, but this deck has been proving a little difficult for me. It's a little like in an awkward spot in between those Vader Iden builds and then like the kind of traditional Boba builds. So it's giving me a little bit of trouble. At least they played Snowtrooper there to at least prove me right about that Making Opening. We'll just Power of the Dark Side it right away. I'm going to keep 2 powers. This is actually a really good hand for Childson. A lot of the time, because of all of the yellow units and cards, Childson is just a like 3/3 or even 2/2. A lot of the times he's a 2/2. But here he will be in his glory as a 6/6. So, although it depends on what I'm resourcing. And man, I feel like I might, even though I talked about this a whole lot right now, I'm going to do the Super Laser Blast because I think there's like so much removal here. I don't see, again, IG-88 is usually not thought of as a very competitive build, so I just don't see what they're going to do with all of this removal in hand too, like what they could do to us, so I'm going to get rid of that. Benthic 2 tubes is the key reason, and this used to be like why you would run that, but people have kind of been moving away from 2 tubes, and maybe that's because of the presence of making openings, but you used to see 2 tubes a lot, especially in early Sabine builds. So we'll play our Childson. He's going to be at least be a 5/5. Kind of depends on what we get here. Oh wow, interesting. Tag is giving experience to 2 tubes. This devotion would help us close out this game, help us close out against aggro because of the restore too. Let's see here though. Again, we want our Childson to be his best self. So we're going to play that and we're going to reveal everything. I thought about keeping the Bounty Hunter, but at the same time, I'd like this giant Childson, please. IG-88 comes out on 5? Dang. We're going to claim. He even comes out like kind of late for what he does. Man. So I don't know. I mean, assuming they're just gonna like keep running stuff into him. Okay, undoing their action. Okay, yeah, because I want to give like a raid. Sure. Right, they had to stack that right, because of the raid ability on that. Okay, so we're going up to 5. We can put Devotion on Boba. We can Vanquish, then go up to, or something else, then go up to. We'll get rid of this Avenger. They've got like so many like cheap small units. It's also probably just like not very good here. Okay, so we're going to. They might have like whoa. Undoing, whoa. Just like going back and forth. Maybe they're new to the client, I'm assuming, or they resourced something they didn't want to resource. Okay, so looks like we're back. We're going to just power them, keep the damage off our base. I don't think they've got like, have they got any damage? No, they don't have anything on the base. Oh, they played one. Okay. So then I was like, how'd they get that back? Like some weird loop of undoing their actions and somehow got their card back? Okay. We will Devotion our Boba. They played an out of aspect. No good to me dead. Okay. Interesting. At least, very least you could say, at least this deck is surprising. We'll see. There's Tone. So I'm assuming they're just going to attack the Boba. Yeah. Because they know if they leave him out with a Devotion, at least they will not win that game. It's just like, I think we need to just like keep the removal. Like what's the best way to win here though? Like, are we trying to stick a unit and kill them? Or like, I think we're just gonna defeat and mill. We'll do both. We'll try and kill them normally and also mill them. What is going on? They undid their last action, and then... Okay, it looks like they're frozen. Okay. Okay, there, clicking doesn't work. So we're gonna, that's happened to me a few times in the last, I think just about like 3 days, but these videos are a little off since I stagger them, so it will probably be about like 6 or 7. Okay, yeah, we're gonna mount and defeat. Okay, so where we hit, so yeah, they're on the Vaders. Okay. And double naughty. I mean, I think this deck is kind of, maybe they're just trying to like trick you with the IG-88 into thinking that they're running like a very bad deck or something. But the cards in it are good, very good. Off aspect, no good to me dead might be a little arguable, but let's see here. If we can just like keep these devotions on something, they are super not going to win. What do they have though? Like, are they on making openings? Like, what else are they gonna do to us? Because we could play Boba and then devotion it. And we need to keep those vanquishes. We just want to play Dooku, get rid of that, and put them in a weird spot. So it looks like they've resolved their issue. If you guys are having trouble with that, yeah, like it's like you can click, but you can't like do anything else. Refreshing works for that. But sometimes it happens like both players. Did they? Okay. When it deals damage to a base, 3 to a ground unit. So they got like the shield off and all that. Okay. I'll put, man, like Greedo in there. So we could like devotion this fire spray. Does she have, she just has Saboteur, so she'll kill him. So maybe we just like go on the base. And then she'll do 4 to us, and then kill Dooku with her thing, and then we'll play a fire spray. I don't think there's anything in that color combination that can deal with fire spray besides no good to me dead, which is, or not no good to me dead, jeez. I am your father, and even then we can just let them draw, which, I mean, I think actually in their deck would be good, because they could like draw and then just like dump a bunch of like 1 and 2 cost units, you know, but we'll attack there. Then we'll claim. So it's going to be pretty rough for them. If we stick this fire spray and can get that restore to. They're putting up like a fairly good resistance for being an IG-88 deck. Let's see. Let's go Bosk into... Bosk can survive really either of these. And they've got actually 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 on board, which is nothing to sneeze at. Let's get rid of the 7th sister though. Leave them with 8. We'll attack them here. I guess I should have maybe attacked with fire spray first if I was trying to be really super optimal. I think they'll be dead on board. They're gonna have to attack into that Fet unit, because otherwise they've got lethal. But I think since we have initiative, I don't think there's anything they can really do about that, because we just attack with the fire spray straight into their base, and that should be game. Yeah. Alright, so we'll just attack straight there, and then we'll GG's them. Alright, that will be round number 2. I think that will be it for today's matches. Thank you for watching. If you like the content, be sure to like and subscribe, and that really just helps out with the algorithm, that kind of a thing. So if you've lasted this far, Thank you very much. I am humbled by the amount of people who watch and comment on the videos. I love discussing it with people, you know, even in comments. If you think, you know, like you've got an idea of something I should do, or you see a misplay, I mean, like, sure, tell me. I'd love to hear it. I know, like, over text sometimes, like if I'm typing a response to someone, it may sound different than it would actually be. I have no anger, nothing like that, mad at no one, over like plays and talking about best lines of play, that kind of a thing. So if you see something, let me know, and I'd be happy to like look at that or think about it when I'm going into my other games. It really does help me improve, and I really like that kind of a thing, even if I may sometimes disagree back at you. No hard feelings, nothing like that at all. I actually really like that and love getting into those kinds of discussions, and again, no hard feelings ever. From my end. So if you see something, especially in this game, because I've been having like a little bit of you know, difficulty playing this actually compared to some of the other games, but maybe that's just because I've been matched up against like a ton of U-Wing decks, and haven't gotten a chance to really play against much control, those other kinds of things. I see how it could be good against some control, maybe good against mid-range, but I've mostly been playing against like ramp. I played like 5 or 6 ramps decks, and I really kind of just got smashed and didn't not really a great like learning thing to stream and upload like that, so I just like left the first one up. It is what it is. And you know, but just trying to get better. So again, thanks for watching. I will see you later. Goodbye.